Good morning. Today is January 13th, 2022. Welcome to my reading of Affirmations. I am probably going to be doing these a little bit more often because now, once again, I'm on the job hunt. Never thought I would find myself at 57 looking for work, right? I'm hoping. This is so cool. This video, I think I caught feeding time. You can see all the critters down there eating. It's really cool. But anyway, yeah, I don't know. I am just, I think my expectations are too high of people. Like, I don't know. It's so hard. I keep getting these jobs where people just don't care, right? They say they care. They care about themselves and their little, I don't know what they care about. They don't care about the employees that well, not me. Let's just put it that way. Not in the way that I feel like I deserve, right? So I keep walking away. Maybe it's hard because, like, I tell my son, I'm like, what? Do I think I deserve too much? Because I think I deserve adequate training and I think I deserve adequate respect. Not even, I mean, yeah, adequate, you know? And I guess that's just too much. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why. I don't understand how, like, I know it's not just me, right? It's happening all over the country. People are saying we've had enough and they're walking away. And I'm just super confused as to how employers and other people that work in these environments can still think that it's the person walking away, right? Um, so I don't know. I applied for a job just cleaning, which actually they called me for an interview just before I took this job, and I didn't actually get the message until late because the way my phone is kind of messed up. I need a new one, but can't afford that right now. So I didn't get the message until late, or I would have called back and told them no because I don't like just leaving people hanging. But by the time I got it, it was way too late to call back, and I was working at the college, which it hasn't changed since I was there before. They are the same as everybody else. Like I said yesterday, they're not unique. They have made the decision just to throw people into things and not and blame them. I can't wrap my mind around that part of it, right? It's like I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I'm disappointed. I thought that I really have been looking for some place that I can um, be light, right? And I wanted to be a positive presence, and it's like it just didn't work out that way. I mean, I don't know. I guess in retrospect, looking back at it when I was like dancing outside of my car, I think for them that was too much. I don't understand that though, right? Like, I don't know. God forbid you be happy and dance anywhere because it just doesn't go over well, I guess. Or I don't even know. That was probably a part of it, but I really don't. I don't care. It's clear I don't belong there. Um, I was just trying to put forth that you can exercise anywhere and be in shape because a lot of people there just sit and are stuffing their fillings and getting larger and larger. And I personally don't give a shit how people look, right? I don't care. Look at me, right? My teeth are yellowing and I don't, it's just, right? Clearly my vessel has had some use, right? But I cared enough that I thought I could be an inspiration, right? And it's just, I'm just not sure I believe in anything anymore, you know? I believe in myself. I guess I learned a lesson. You can't inspire people who have closed minds. So, my bad. Okay. You know, and then the first line that I'm reading is I'm not judging, right? Am I judging them? I don't want to be judging them, right? I just don't understand. I just don't understand treating people that way. I don't know. I'm confused and sad. This wasn't very long, was it? Boy, that turned dark soon. Well, that's kind of a drag. Might not want to use that one. This one too reminds me of a job I had where I tried to be an inspiration and got shot down. My son keeps telling me not to take my authentic self. You know, you spend so much of your life in a job to not be able to be who you are, right? It's super painful. I mean, I've done it all my life, so it's not like it's new, but I just didn't. I didn't want to spend the rest of my life doing this. And it's just, in this moment, I am acknowledging my worth. I am moving forward in confident positivity. I am light. I am peace. I am calm. I am acceptance. I am a multi-layered fluid soul, and each step that I am taking is bringing me nearer my purpose. I am aware that there will be times of discomfort and pain. I am embracing the comfort, oh shit, the discomfort. I am embracing those times because they are what makes me strong. Okay, universe, I'm strong enough. Please give me a break. I am light. I think I need to start over. Man, it's been a rough couple years, right? Actually, it's been a rough lifetime. My earliest memory, and this has just come back to me. It's just me as a little, and it couldn't have been 3 or 4, because I know, or I should say one of my earliest memories, not my earliest, but, or not the singular, not the only, but I remember being, like, we were going on this Greyhound bus. We were leaving Utah for reasons. And I was getting on this Greyhound bus. Well, my mom, I remember my mom and my sister, my little brother was a baby, and I think my sister was helping, and I remember just standing there by myself, feeling lost and alone, and thinking, and left behind, right? And I know that, like, I know that I'm a really broken. I know that I'm a really broken individual, right? Um, but I also know I'm really strong, and I know that I'm loyal, and I know that I'm trustworthy, and I know that I keep my word, and I know that I never do anything to intentionally hurt anybody, right? I would never put anybody intentionally in a position of struggle. And I have a really hard time with people that do that and are okay with that. And it brings out something in me I don't like. Um, and it's like I keep finding these people that just don't care. Like they can't see past themselves enough to see that what they do affects someone else, right? And I just don't know if I'm ever going to find them. It's painful, but that's okay. I am, I am embracing the pain as it gives me strength. I am releasing the anger, fear, and resentment as they just bring me down. I am above the chaos. I am through the darkness and into the light. And then I threw myself right back into darkness. What a fool. That's okay though. I'm done, you know? People like that, and again, I'm not judging, I'm just saying that there are people like that out there, and they're really not worth my time, right? Like, they get space in my head for free, and it's not worth it. And that, I think, is what I need to learn. I mean, I should have been able, I guess, at the end of the... Although, what they did to me, again, was so wrong. Like, literally, they put me... I quit this job, or got laid off over a year and a half ago, and they put me at a desk, far away from any help, and just left me there. And then my supervisor would hear one side of the conversation and be driven by that, not letting me ever explain what the whole conversation was about. I don't know how you can put someone in that position and get upset with them for not being okay with that. How does that make sense? So I have to really get past this because I have to go meet them one more time today. Just because I need to find out, like, do I still have insurance until the end of the month? How much can I use on my card? I mean, I paid for the insurance, right? Like almost $200. And I paid $50 for the union, right? Why the fuck did I pay for those things? This fucking place. And then they get mad at me for dropping the F-bomb. Like, my word, like, fuck means so much, right? But we will get you help means nothing. Explain that to me. When I say something, I follow through. Okay, I am ranting again. This is part of darkness and light. I just need to get it out, because if I don't talk about it, then my son hears about it. And he's just trying to be okay. He's got me, who's different people. Like, there's Elm, and then there's pissed off Elm, and then there's Shay, who I'm striving to just be, right? It's exhausting. It's exhausting trying to get people to care. And then I look at that. That was me right there, right? I mean, look at me now, right? Look at this, right? And those people think that they have a right to judge me. When I went from one of them right there, right, sitting in a chair, stuffing my fillings, that's not what I was right there, because I was in the process of coming out of that, right? But I went from a person who sat in a chair and stuffed my fillings to a person who dances outside of my car before work because it gives me energy, right? Even though I got judged for that. It's funny to me, that's not how they wanted their college known. They'd rather have it known by the slugs that sit in the chair and keep feeding their faces, I guess. And see, there I go. That was mean. God damn it. Trying not to be mean. I don't want to be mean, and I don't want to judge them because I really care, right? I don't want to see those people continue to do that to themselves, right? Like, I care. I would love to see them come and dance with me or care enough, you know? But it's just not the way it goes. And it's unfortunate, but I am no longer going to be treated like I'm less than the Merediths and the Avinas of the world because they can't see outside of their own box. So if I have to continue to walk away, I will. I mean, I've got enough artwork I can sit on the corner and sell my shit, right? Somebody will buy it. I mean, it's better than just sitting there with a cardboard sign. So I'm not going to tolerate being treated like I am a non-human. So that's, yeah. I am acknowledging my worth as I know that I am amazing, talented, and successful. I am speaking my truth in a calm and peaceful manner as I am calm. Sorry about it. I shouldn't be swallowing in the mic. I don't even know who I'm talking to. This is stupid. I'm sitting here talking to space and feeling less alone. I'm so tired of being lonely and feeling like nobody gives a shit. I mean, I know my son cares, right? And but he's my son. You know, I'm supposed to be the parent. And I'm so lost. I am on my ultimate life path. I am asking Gaia for guidance. Please help me and tell me what to do. Show me, not help tell me. I believe. I am a believer. I believe in the power of me. I believe in who I am. And I believe in who I am becoming. I am light. I am through darkness. You know, it's funny. If I look at this a different way, I have been questioning whether or not I should go back to SWOC for a while. Because the benefits are really good, right? Like you work 4-day summers and like the medical benefits are really good, and it's just although what they're doing with that is they are stopping. It used to be that they would have somebody go through your benefits with you so they could guide you to the best available thing for you, and they're not doing that anymore. And the reason why is because it was costing them too much money, in my view. Because instead of dealing with the real issue is that the people that they have there don't give a shit. They are cutting and cutting and cutting back, right? Instead of the fact that the issue is that the people that they have working there do not care about what they are doing. They are there strictly for the benefits. Not all of them. There are some people that actually care, but the majority of them, that is not the case, right? And so I I can't be a part of something where people just don't care and then and be the only one that gives a shit, right? I mean, even one of the advisors the other day, there was a student that owed money who needed a class, and I put him in that class, and then I dropped him because it was a lot. I didn't have enough help to actually find out what the whole situation was. I just didn't have enough help, and I had to get it done quick. Had I had enough help, I would have contacted the student, told them what was going on, and taken the payment because he came in and paid me 2 days later with cash. So he would have paid to get into that class. By the time I got him into the class, it was waitlisted, right? Well, then, and I was upset because I knew that the reason that that happened was because I didn't have the help to do the job that I could do, right? That I couldn't do the job to the best of my ability because I wasn't being given the tools that were promised to me. And so when the student finally got it worked out, the advisor came up to me and he said, well, that student you've been working with, blah blah blah, well, he finally got into this class and he was too far behind, so we had to drop it, and he's getting into these other classes. And I was like, well, thank God it got worked out. And he was like, well, it wasn't your fault. It's not our fault. It's our fault if we aren't explaining the whole situation to them, right? But for some reason, we're there at a college where we're supposed to help people, it's not our fault if they don't understand it. Well, maybe if we didn't just throw people in and expect them to understand it, that would be helpful, right? So I am glad that this happened because now I know that I don't belong there at all. And so there's no like second guessing it now. So maybe that's was the universe telling me to just let that go, right? I guess I can read this into being that, but I am just so extremely tired of this, of these people. I'm already starting to shake, right? And it's just like, I don't know, I need to put on sweatpants because I'm cold. I was gonna go there just in leggings just to make a point, which is stupid. But that's how my boss showed up at my first meeting with her. Leggings and like this wraparound shawl thing. Her hair looked messy. She just sat in the chair sideways with her leg over the arm like this because that's how much I meant, right? She couldn't even sit in the chair properly in our introduction. I mean, and I almost walked away right there. I almost walked away right there. I probably should have, but that's okay. It got the point across to me that that is definitely not the place for me. That they don't see my light even when it's shining as bright as I can shine it, right? Because they're too in the dark to even see it. So I guess I'll be grateful for that life lesson. Well, hopefully I got a couple of weeks to get this together because I didn't get paid from this job the whole month of December. Um, so I've got February's mortgage, thank God. But now I'm in debt. And I was hoping to refinance. But anyway, this is my stuff, my issues. But who is not going through this? A lot of us are going through this, right? And we feel alone, and employers are pissed because nobody wants to work. You're trying to force us into working in these shit jobs, being treated like shit, like we don't matter. And we're frankly fucking tired. And don't say that word because, oh my God. Bunch of fucking snowflakes. Okay, see, that was judgy. Darkness and light, baby. So I don't know. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna start streaming and just talking about, like, my first job was at, and I can actually say the names of these things and the names of these people, right? Said I don't remember what the boss's name, and it was at Carl's Jr.'s, actually. I got that job because my friend worked there. And I use the word friend loosely because I did not really ever have friends. I was always just the one that was, I was the fill in friend, just like I was just the fill in person for this job, right? And I know that people know what the fill in friend is because I've seen posts about it all over. So I was just a fill in friend, right? And, anyway, so I got this job there, and I've always been a very hard worker. I've always taken pride in my work. I mean, I got hired at my second job, McDonald's, straight from Carl's Jr.'s because she had seen me working at Carl's Jr.'s, right? But at Carl's Jr.'s, when you ask for a raise and you're told to bend over, so you try to find another job. So then I go to McDonald's. I'm down and I'm working two jobs. I'm working McDonald's, and then I got another job working Cindy's restaurant as a waitress because I wanted to go to Europe. And so I was working two jobs. I would work 10 at night until 6 in the morning waiting tables. And then I would get off at 6 in the morning, and McDonald's was like just up the street. So I had to deal with my boss. It's like, I might have worked the 7 to 3 shift because I know it took me a little bit of time to get out of Cindy's. Like I had to check out. And at the time they were starting to charge 8% for tips. So I had to catch up, total up all my tickets and figure out we had to do all that on our own time, by the way, when we were off work, right? Which is kind of bullshit. But anyway, that was back then. But that boss told me at Cindy's that I would never be anything more than a waitress. Girls like me never were. Let's see. And then at McDonald's, I had just gotten off work at Cindy's, and I went into McDonald's one morning, and I was down in the basement. That's where the freezer was. And so I was down in the basement getting all of the stuff to, like, the fries and stuff like that, to get ready for the day. And the maintenance man, Terry, he was a pretty big dude, right? But I've never been, like, I'm only 5'1", and at the time I probably weighed probably less than I do now. I don't think I ever weighed. So I was about 120 pounds, maybe, pretty small, I would say. Um, and he's standing there in the basement, and it's in front of the stairs, so I can't get past him. Like I have to go around him to get up the stairs, right? And he's standing there holding on to this pipe above his head, and he's got his hands down his pants, and he's playing with himself while he's talking to me, right? And he's like masturbating while he's playing with me. And I'm 15, maybe 16, in the basement of this McDonald's while this man is doing this, right? And like, I remember just thinking that it couldn't really be happening, right? And again, it's those instances of, am I really seeing what I'm seeing? Right? And so anyway, he finished doing whatever he needed to do and let me go. And I went to work and soon after quit that job. And like I said, I worked at Cindy's where I had hostess 2 nights, and they called me up and asked me if I wanted to wait tables. I had never waitressed before. And I said, no, I've never waited tables before. And of course, the waitress who was calling me, who didn't want to get stuck working the graveyard shift, said, oh, we knew you would say that. We knew you couldn't handle it, which for me was like, you know. So, of course, I went in and did it. And that's how I started waiting tables, right? And so it's always been that way. This is not new. Being thrown into things and being like, expected to just, again, this is my analogy for it. They throw us into these fires, give us a squirt bottle, and tell us we should be grateful, right? I, I just can't wrap my mind around that. So, I don't know. Anyway, so then my second job was at Cindy's. I worked there for a while, and I did go to Europe, actually. I saved enough money, and at the time, was going to school. I was saving money working two jobs until I quit and we just started working at Cindy's because I realized tips, I could make good money. So I was going to school. I was waiting tables and I was living on my own, paying my own rent and everything. And I had not turned 17 yet at that time because I went over to Europe. It was my 17th birthday. And I remember my boyfriend gave me a watch. I was devastated. I wasn't expecting an engagement ring, but that's neither here nor there. But anyway, um, and that man told me that I would never be anything more than a waitress because that's all I was, right? Well, first off, there's nothing wrong with that. So I don't know what he was talking about, but he had me in his office, right? I remember he was such a perv. We wore these short little flowered skirts with this Cindy's t-shirt, and his name was Jim. He was a total perv. Anyway, but I worked really hard and I waitressed at that job, and I don't know what happened, but I ended up moving to Sacramento, California, and waitressing graveyard shifts at a place called Epi's, and that was a trip. Man, that was a trip. I this is gonna the people that like this was it's so funny to me that people here think they know anything about what's the word I'm looking for? Differences in people. Help me out here. I can't think of the word I'm looking for. But anyway, I remember working there, and it was right up the street from a halfway house. There was this big, huge guy, had to be 6'3", 6'4", probably 350, 400 pounds, all muscle. He had PTSD really bad, and he would come in on my graveyard shift, and he would he would be fine, and he would be drinking coffee, and then all of a sudden he would just not be there anymore, and he would start freaking out. And the first time it happened, I mean, thankfully it was also a place where the sheriff stopped in to have coffee a lot because I was right off the freeway. And so thankfully we all knew, they knew him and of him. I not so much at the time, the first time, but I remember the first time he got up and started screaming, "Get down, get down!" And I, man, I hit the floor and flipped out, right? And it was so the sheriffs came over and they calmed him down and everything and explained to me and they actually had asked me, they would try to get me to join the sheriff's department. That's another story, but they called me down and told me that this happened with him, and so he came in quite frequently, and every once in a while he would go to that place, and he just kind of he never was violent, and he never tried to hurt anybody. He just for a minute or two would not be there. He would be in a panic situation, and then he would come out of it, right? And so it never caused a whole lot of problems, and there was really nothing we could do. I mean, I just knew when he came in to be aware that he may become that person, right? So at a very real early on in when I started working, I understood that there are people that are way different than me, right? There were these two women. It was my first real experience with a lesbian couple. They came in, and I remember the one of them wore this it was like a crochet shirt with no bra, no anything underneath it, and I was just kind of taken aback for a minute, but they were really, really kind to me, right? So I didn't judge them for that, right? Because they were kind to me. So I didn't really the big dude when he was actually with us, which was more, he was with us more than he would go back, but he was kind to me, right? There were the garbage men that came in every morning and had their coffee before they went on their routes. And it was a group of these African American men that people would look down on because they were garbage truck drivers, right? They were so kind to me, right? So I knew early on that, and then the businesses would come in, they weren't kind to me, right? I mean, I waited on several celebrities. They were not kind to me, right? So diversity is the word I'm looking for. I find it really interesting that these people that talk about diversity and think, and I, I, I don't understand how you can live in one town where I've maybe seen, since I've been here for 2 years, I've probably seen a handful of people that weren't white, which I didn't. We moved here. We're in a good location. It's by the ocean. It's, but, and then they talk about diversity, right? And it's not all about skin color. I understand that. That my son would say that was really racist. It probably was. But I mean, when you live in the same place for 25 years, you don't know diversity, in my view, right? I don't think you even know adversity, really, because one person's worked the same job for 25 years. They have had that support system for 25 years. They don't know what it's like to not have that. They have no clue. Vastly different worlds, right? But I'm not going to judge you for that. So don't you judge me because that's not who I am, right? Because as I said, I'm going to go through my jobs. I'm going to go through my jobs and I'm going to talk about this because and maybe nobody will listen and maybe somebody will. I don't know. You know, this is part of darkness and light. I'm multiple people. I am Shay and I am Elm and I am Donine and there's parts of my sister in me that I cannot, that really freak me out because she, in my view, is cruel, right? And I don't want to be a cruel person. So I just, I don't know. I don't know, man. I have to go meet with these people in like 20 minutes. Hi, and my dog, she hears me talking and she's like, oh, look, you sound happy. I can come and say hello to you. You don't sound mad. These poor dogs. I have been, I don't know, I've been struggling. I know a lot of us have been struggling, but I've been struggling, but I've been okay in the same sense, right? Because I'm growing a lot. This has been like, I mean, I know this pandemic is just, it's hurt a lot of us, right? And then there's those that it didn't really affect at all. And those people, I I wish that they could see outside of themselves, at least the ones that I know, but all right, I gotta go. I gotta go do this. Fart.